This is part 2 of the comic book series Spider-Man and the X-Men. Spider-Man and his students have been captured by the Saurians, and Shark Girl has defected to their side. As they plan their escape, Spider-Man is relieved that, if nothing else, he found out who the mole is. On his signal, the mutants break their bonds, and team up on Stegron and Sauron. The two Saurians call an army of dinosaurs to their aid. As Spidey and the mutants fight the dinosaurs, Ernst notices that one of the dinosaurs is wearing a name tag. Spider-Man realizes that these aren't really dinosaurs, but humans who have somehow been transformed into dinosaurs and are being forced to fight. He tells the mutants to stop battling him, and surrenders. Sauron reveals that Stegron and he stole a vial of dinosaur DNA from the museum, and used it to transform the locals on Staten Island into dinosaurs. Rockslide confronts Shark Girl and asks her why she betrayed them. She tells him that the Saurians are her real family, and they like her for who she is. Sauron orders Stegron to take the prisoners to a power-dampening cell. After they leave, Sauron takes Shark Girl for a walk. He reveals that he isn't just interested in her as a teammate, but that he is attracted to her. He offers to share his power-draining ability with her, by giving her a very special bite. Just as he is about to kiss her, Stegron enters and berates Sauron for ordering him around in front of the prisoners. Sauron mocks the way he speaks, and says that he is much more powerful than Stegron. As the argument gets heated, Shark Girl breaks them apart. In the cell, the prisoners discuss Shark Girl's betrayal. Hellion defends her, saying that she must be under mind control. When they ask Spider-Man if he has a plan, he reveals that he doesn't, and asks Eye-Boy if he can come up with something. Eye-Boy suggests that Glob try and squeeze through the bars of the cell and shut off the power field controls so they can use their powers again. Glob manages to get halfway through, but his rib cage gets stuck. That's when Shark Girl enters. She reveals that she never really crossed over to the Saurian side, but she pretended to, so that they wouldn't capture her. She tries to help Glob squeeze through the bars, but Spider-Man says that they can't just leave the island. They have to turn all the islanders back into humans. He asks Shark Girl to find out if the transformation is reversible and set the two Saurians against each other. Suddenly, Sauron enters. Deciding that the game isn't up, Shark Girl tells him that she caught Glob trying to escape. As punishment, Sauron chooses Glob to be the first of the X-Men to transform into a dinosaur. He and Stegron place Glob in the machine, and flip the switch. The transformation works, but Glob turns into a baby Triceratops instead of a fully grown one. Something in his mutant DNA prevented the process from taking place normally. Sauron makes a go at Spider-Man, but now out of the power-dampening cell, the mutants have their powers back, and break their bonds again. Rockslide is about to attack Stegron, but Hellion, fearing that he might break the transformation machine, uses his telekinesis to transport everyone but Shark Girl and the dinosaur Glob out the window. As Sauron flies off after them, Shark Girl uses the opportunity to sow the seeds of discontent in Stegron. She flirts with him, and tells him that he shouldn't let Sauron push him around. She says that they don't need Sauron, just each other. She plays on Stegron's insecurity, and says that he's so smart, he can probably even transform the dinosaurs back into people. Stegron reveals that he can, and she asks him to show her. As he programs the machine to work in reverse, Sauron returns. Stegron tells him that he doesn't need him anymore, because he's got Shark Girl. Sauron is furious that Stegron wants to take Shark Girl from him, and attacks him. Spider-Man and the other mutants return, only to see Sauron and Stegron at each other's throats, rolling around on the floor. Stegron attempts to use his energy-draining powers on Sauron, while Sauron tries to hypnotize him. The two of them are evenly matched, and, ultimately, their powers turn them both into stone. Now that the Saurians are out of the picture, Spidey and the gang turn Glob back into his original form, and head out of the building. There they find Sam Wilson, better known now as Captain America, waiting for them. Spider-Man had called for his aid earlier. At that moment, a Blackbird arrives, with Storm on board. Spider-Man gets ready to face the music. However, we see that Storm is actually still at the school, trying to leave messages for Spider-Man on his phone. On board the plane, Spider-Man talks to Shark Girl. He tells her that he's proud of her for not giving in to temptation and using her powers selfishly. She tells him that she struggles with her powers, because nobody has wanted to be around her since she became Shark Girl. Spider-Man says that he wants her on his team, and that, in fact, he thinks that Hellion likes her. Suddenly, Eye-Boy points out that Storm's Blackbird doesn't have a locked cockpit door, like this one does. As the realization dawns on him, the cabin starts to fill with noxious gas. Someone steps out of the cockpit. It isn't Storm at all, but someone who disguised himself as her. It's the shape-shifting Chameleon. Shark Girl was never the mole, and Chameleon had another informant inside the school. He tells someone on his monitor that he has captured Spider-Man and the X-Men. We see that this is the trans-dimensional sorcerer, Mojo. And that's how part 2 of Spider-Man and the X-Men ends. Join us soon to find out what nasty plans Mojo has for our heroes, in part 3.